That's when everybody said you shouldn't go to war.
There is a lot to do in Utah, and we have to do it day in and day out. But I also want to stress it is very important how many people are going to show up in Washington, D.C. for the national conference. This will be the gauge for the strength of the environmental movement. So it's very important that everybody who can spare that weekend go there, because we are trying to raise the money for the students so that all you have to do is spare the time and go there. And I think that is also an exceptional thing. Our day-to-day thing is here, but I also want to say it's very important to go to Washington, D.C. Now, our next speaker is Diana Lee, and let me read what she wrote me. Diana Lee Hirschi is a member of the Salt Lake Quaker meeting. She is a co-founder of Circle Dynamics, which offers workshops in consensus decision-making and civil resistance, as well as nonviolence and peacekeeper training. Diana is a veteran civil resistance activist and a recipient of the 1999 Gandhi Peace Award from the Utah Gandhi Peace Alliance. Diana will give a 1-hour civil resistance training tomorrow, and she will give a 4-hour civil resistance training with others 1 week from tomorrow. And this is very important information.
What time tomorrow?
I'll tell.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll start.
Give a hand to Diana.
Between 1 and 5 p.m. at the Quaker Meeting House, 171. Oh, I thought I was. Okay. Now am I okay? Yes.
You pull it out.
Now am I okay?
Yes.
Okay. Next Saturday, the 21st of February, from 1 to 5 p.m. the Quaker Meeting House, 171 East, 4800 South. Circle Dynamics will be doing a workshop on civil resistance, and part of the workshop will be helping get people prepared to go to Washington, D.C. So if you have the time and you're interested, and particularly if you are planning to go to Washington, then try to make it to that workshop. And it's what I'll be doing, a short 1-hour introduction to civil resistance tomorrow. So I'll just tell you that I have been involved in this kind of thing for a long, long time. And my particular experience was in the nuclear weapons campaign, which pretty much came to a rest in 1992 when we got the moratorium and stopped testing nuclear weapons underground. Prior to that, I spent a lot of time in the campaign that stretched over many years and involved many activities, and culminated for me in an arrest at our local bomb plant, which is now ATK and Magna. It used to be Hercules. I was on trial with 2 other people, and we were acquitted by a jury in Magna that said, indeed, we were following a higher law, and they refused to find us guilty in our action. So that's just a little tiny bit about me. I want to give a couple of reactions to this movie tonight. I want to say first that I thought the joy and the creativity and just the joy of the opening scenes with all of the puppets and the people and the excitement was wonderful. I think that part of the movement is wonderful. It's also seductive because it gets adrenaline going. And that's something we need to be a little bit cautious about, because this is hard work. And it goes on for a long, long time. And as we saw later on in the movie, there's great wear and tear on your personal relationships, on your personal life. you when you really get doing this kind of work can be, as many of you know, I mean, I don't have to tell you how how it can rip your soul out and devastate you physically, and how much you might be called upon to give up. So I want to also respond by noticing that there was a great deal of planning that went in to the actions in Seattle. Those folks worked for 6 months and more to prepare with nonviolence trainings and practice and discussions with one another. What the fuck are we doing? They said in the movie. They said that. And that's a good question. And you get down there in the trenches and you look at each other and say, whoa, what are we doing? And you need to talk about that beforehand. You need to search your soul and find out how committed you are to nonviolence. How committed are you to nonviolent direct action? In this movie, we saw a lot of macho, we saw a lot of anger, we saw a lot of violence. And to make that commitment to nonviolence takes a lot of soul searching. And one good reason, I think, practically, to commit to nonviolence is because the police and the soldiers have guns, and they have more guns than we do, and they are going to use them. So there's no way we can win with those tactics. There's no way we can win with property damage. At least that's my strong belief. Because I do believe, along with Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Dorothy Day and a number of other saints, I do believe in the power of love. I do believe that's what we have to call to in another person, is their humanity. That we have to respect those police. We even have to respect those slimy corporate board members. Because we can only touch them if they can hear us. And if they can plug into that common humanity we all want to live and be at peace. I believe we've got to believe that. So I noticed in the movie the confrontation with the two bullhorns. I personally despise bullhorns, and I always try to discourage using bullhorns. I don't even care a lot for chanting, as you well know. But you notice when they're facing off with the bullhorns, nobody's listening to each other. Nobody's talking to each other. Nobody's building any bridges. What if you walk up to the policeman and you just start talking to him? And you just start talking to him like he's a human being. What would happen? How would that work? So that's something to think about when you find yourself in that confrontational situation. What if you stop yelling your self-righteous slogans and start talking? Or perhaps sometimes, and I noticed this was another part of the movie that really got my attention, how powerful that scene was when they all put the tape over their mouths and they didn't talk. What a message that gave. And what a contrast to all the shouting. One of the great moments for me in the movie was when they got word that if they didn't let those prisoners out, there would be a general strike. Now, is that exciting? I just love it when labor gets going. I mean, what if we could have a general strike in this country? I want to end my comments by pointing out one more thing I really noticed in this movie, and I've noticed it at many points in my life, and that is that we, you and me, all of us, we do have power. We choose not to use it. At least DVDs. Go to a damn meeting and plan an action, but no, seriously, we really have a lot of power. We have so much more power than we realize. And yes, it is scary, and we will take risks. And sometimes we might get hurt, we might get beat up, we might get put in jail, we might lose a lot. But what the hell, it's only a life, and you're going to die anyway. We might put it that way. Thank you.